Pride series, Marsha P. Johnson, Pride finale, take 5. Chapstick. Chapstick. You know what I didn't do? I didn't powder my face. This is the behind the scenes content you came here for. Okay. I feel better. Hi everyone, welcome back to... Hi everyone. Ooh, it's Pride. Oh, this could be hard. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel this week. My name is Tyler M. Holland. I'm a costume designer in Brooklyn, New York. If you're tuning in right now, it's the last weekend of June, which means it's Pride. I'm uploading this video on a really special night. Tonight is June 27th, which is the night before the 51st anniversary of the Stonewall riots. If you're new to Pride, first off, welcome. There's enough queer love and hugs to go around. But secondly, I'd like to share that the Stonewall riots were a series of riots that took place on the early morning of June 28th, 1969, and continued on until July 3rd. These riots essentially created the LGBTQA+ movement and the movement for queer equality. I've stated in my past videos, and I think it bears repeating, this year and every year I would like to focus our attention on Marsha P. Johnson, a Black trans woman who is credited with starting off the Stonewall riots. In today's political climate, I think it's incredibly important to celebrate her, and this week, celebrate her we will. Without giving too much away, let's get into this week's rendering. Alright y'all, this is the finale in the Pride series, and what better way to honor Pride than by honoring two of our biggest queer icons, Judy Garland and Marsha P. Johnson. This piece is really important to me, and I really want to sell the concept that the two of these icons together can help us celebrate our amazing queerness and diversity. I've said it in every video and I'll keep saying it. The starting place for any Tyler M. Holland rendering is going to be the underpainting of the skin tones. Underpainting is the term we use in the industry to describe the addition of warm and cool undertones to aid in the shading and contouring of human skin tone. The underpainting on this rendering is especially important as I'm attempting to render recognizable faces. I don't want to do anything to do any disservice to either Judy or Marsha and have my gay card revoked. Since this piece is all about the facial recognition for the viewer of two important queer icons, I'm doing something I'd normally save until the end, going into the faces with watercolor pencils to really carve out the features. I wanted to make sure that I could feel both of these powerful women in their expressions, and I think it helped me overall feel confident to render their gowns with them smiling out at me. So for Dorothy's dress, I wanted to do something really cool. Obviously, one of the most iconic parts of the making of The Wizard of Oz is that Kansas was filmed in sepia, and it isn't until Dorothy makes her way to Oz that the film switches to full, glorious Technicolor. Of course, this is a gorgeous trick exploiting the newness of Technicolor in the day, but it's also such a great metaphor for Dorothy's character progression and what she learns in Oz. As anyone who has seen the movie can tell you, Dorothy feels that she doesn't fit in Kansas and wishes to be somewhere over the rainbow, and where she can be around people like-minded to her and be somewhere more exciting than her hometown, somewhere where dreams really do come true. Her transition into the colorful world of Oz is an amazing metaphor for us queer people. We often grow up in small towns surrounded by small-minded individuals, or long to be in a faraway place with people like us, filled with excitement and freedom. Perhaps that's why we as queer people gravitate so much towards this movie. So with that said, I wanted to give the same sense that Dorothy and Marsha are linked in their longing to be accepted and around people like themselves. So I wanted to ombre the gingham dress from its humdrum sepia-ness to a Technicolor fantasy. I'll get more into that a little later. In yet another poetic link between our two queer icons, I wanted to draw Marsha in a dress we hadn't seen her in historically, but rather a dress inspired by an iconic poppy dress that Judy wore in concert in 1965. If you haven't seen this glorious poppy dress, check in with Miss Google. It will blow you away. I love that Judy later in her career understood the connection that she would always have with the Wizard of Oz and the queer community. I like to think that the poppy dress was a beautiful, purposeful wink to her queer audience. With Marsha's take on this dress, I wanted to further gayify it and make sure that the poppies, as they flowed down the dress, represented all of the colors of our new gorgeous pride flag to make sure we're all being celebrated. Well, I guess my cat loves Marsha and Judy as much as I do. Or maybe she was just telling me it's time for dinner. With the base of Marsha's sequin gown done, it's time to move on to Marsha's iconic accessory, her flower crown. In yet another reference to Oz, I wanted her flower crown to be a beautiful crown of poppies. Poppies are certainly one of my favorite flowers, and I'd personally be thrilled to wear such a crown. Alright, remember how I told you I'd talk about the Technicolor fantasy for Dorothy? Here it is. Instead of doing her traditional blue gingham, I wanted to really celebrate Pride and have the side of her dress closest to Marsha become a rainbow of gingham. This took forever. If you have to render such a tight pattern like this, I recommend really gritting this out in pencil before you even start painting. Go ahead and paint in the lowlights and folds of the dress, allowing the pencil guides to show through, and then come in with the watercolor pencils. Even the fine-tipped side of a Prismacolor marker will be too big in scale for this pattern, and worse, in such a tight space it will most surely bleed out of the pattern. To render Marsha's sequin gown, I painted everything flat and went in with my trusty white gel pen to make tiny dots of varying sizes everywhere there would be a highlight. This is a trick I found to help a sequin gown read, well, sequiny. On a lighter colored sequin dress, you can even go in with a shade or two darker than your base color and create tiny little open circles that you can later add the highlight of white over. Oh, yes, glitter. I was sparing this time, believe it or not, and I only used the clear glitter over the highlight areas of the sequins and on the ruby red slippers for both Marsha and Dorothy. I can't have a Pride rendering, or most importantly, the ruby red slippers, without some sparkle. So I know this whole series I've been using the letter of the corresponding LGBTQA acronym and community I'm rendering, but for the final piece I decided to go with P for Pride and P for Marsha P. Johnson. It just felt more powerful to me. Once we have that background in and everything glittered and rhinestoned the way we want it, it's time to sign the piece. And just like that, they're done. I'm honestly super proud of this piece, and I was surprised by how emotional it was for me to do. I've always had such a big tie to the Wizard of Oz, and learning about the Stonewall riots in my queer adolescence and Marsha's inclusion, it all just kind of came together in such a beautiful way to me. I truly hope that both Marsha and Judy would be proud. Happy Pride, everyone, and thank you so much for watching this week. Also, big thank you to Marsha P. Johnson. We love you. To everyone out there attending a march or a rally for LGBTQA plus Pride, remember, be safe, wear a mask, practice good social distancing when possible, And wash your hands. My grandmother will be very thankful I just said that. Like and subscribe to this channel for more costume design related content. I just dropped my first video in my series of conversations with industry professionals, and I'm so excited for you to watch it. There will be a link in the description box below. Oh, and also comment down below if you have any questions about products or design information that maybe I haven't covered yet. I'm happy to address those via comments or a new video, or just comment if you want to say hi. I always need more friends. One last bit of housekeeping before I sign off. If any of these Pride pieces have resonated with you, you actually have a chance to win one of the originals. Go to Tyler M. Holland Design on Instagram, and I'll have more information there for how to win one of the 4 originals, glitter, rhinestones, and all. If you'd like to purchase a print and support this channel and support me as an artist, I'll also have information there. Finally, if you haven't heard my sign off from this entire Pride series for this month, I'll say it again because I truly believe it. Be prideful and be diligent in our fight for LGBTQA plus and POC equality. Lift up our family and always remember what Fannie Lou Hamer said, nobody's free until everybody's free. Signing off with all my queer love. See you next week.